Ladies and gentlemen, I now invite Mr. Bhupendra Yadav, Honorable Minister of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Government of India, to deliver the opening address.
Honorable Prime Minister, respected Shri Narendra Modi ji, His Excellency Dr. Mohammad Irfan, His Excellency Dr. Lois Abinadel, His Excellency Mr. Antonio, Mr. Nitin Desai, Chairman TERI, Dr. Vibha Dhawan, Director General TERI. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, greeting and namaste. It is my pleasure to address you all at the inaugural session of the World Sustainable Development Summit 2022. The summit has a legacy of over 2 decades. It is an annual flagship event by TERI for discussion on climate action and sustainable development. The theme for this year's event is very timely: toward a resilient planet, ensuring a sustainable and equitable future. While economic growth since the Industrial Revolution has granted countries greater prosperity, it has come at a huge cost to the environment. What we need today is an approach that balances the quest for economic growth and mindful resources consumption. We need to move towards globally sustainable lifestyles that respect planetary boundaries. At a time when environmental degradation and emission caused by a loop-sided model of growth was being called an inconvenient truth, the then Chief Minister of Gujarat and currently our respected Prime Minister preserve our planet. At Paris, under his eminent leadership, India gave the concept of sustainable lifestyles and climate justice, both of which found a place in preamble of Paris Agreement. Subsequently, India embarked on a strong action across major sectors of the economy to transition toward low emission development pathway. As a result of ambitious implementation, we were in a position to further increase the ambition in our climate action at COP26 within 5 years of ratification of Paris Agreement. For instance, our goal for energy transition have increased consistently from 175 gigawatt by 2022 to 450 gigawatt by 2030 and now 500 gigawatt by 2030. India demonstrates a clear resolve to move ahead along a sustainable, resource-efficient growth path. At COP26, as the implementation of Paris Agreement began, India reassured the world, yet again, conveying our Panchamrit to the world, including the goal of net zero by 2070 and the one-word mantra of LIFE means lifestyle for environment. All these concepts draw from India's age-old culture, tradition of reverence for Mother Nature and a constant reminder to humanity that a cocoon of luxury will not save us from the impact of climate change. All of us need to do our bit and choose moderation over profligacy, less with excess consumption. In fact, the very logo of my ministry states, nature protects if she is protected. The meaning in the Sanskrit is Prakriti Rakshita Rakshita. Nature can no longer be taken for granted. Ever since 2014, our tree and forest cover is only increasing and our forests are filled with life. The population of endangered species such as tiger has been increasing. It is based on such achievement that I want to reassert that both environment and development are just two sides of the same coin and must proceed hand in hand. For development, we don't have to dismantle and degrade our green assets. Utilization of resources must be based on mindful and deliberate utilization and not mindless and destructive consumption. The goal of life lifestyle for the environment that our Honorable PM unveiled at COP26 at Glasgow should be adopted by the world to safeguard humanity and the planet. Those who have contributed the most in taking the world in the wrong direction must also make the maximum effort to come back to the path of sustainability. To address global environment challenges, including climate change, we must act now on the basis of globally agreed rules taking into account the principle of equity and common but differentiated responsibility and respective capabilities. The Paris Agreement goals cannot be reached unless all countries stay within their fair share of global carbon budget. Only then climate justice can be achieved. In this context, I am happy to say that India is striving the walk the path with its vision of inclusive low carbon growth and development in its domestic policies and through international cooperation. Apart from our resolute domestic actions, we have reached out to all nations globally as per vision of our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji of One Sun, One World and One Grid as part of our pioneering International Solar Alliance. We have also shown our commitment to adaptation in action rather than mere words by setting up and promoting the coalition of disaster resilience infrastructure. India has not contributed to aggravating the problem of global warming into a crisis. Our cumulative emissions are only about 4% from the pre industrial period, though we have about 17% of the world's population. Our per capita annual emissions are only about one third of the world average. Our way forward will continue to be that of low carbon development based on responsible use of our natural resources with our equitable share of the global carbon budget. India's nationally determined contributions are ambitious, and they make a significant contribution toward achieving the temperature goals of the Paris Agreement. Despite the adverse impact of pandemic on the economy, India has enhanced its climate ambition. India is spearheading one of the most ambitious clean energy transition in the world. The inclusive and sustainable macroeconomic development of India require the both adaptation and mitigation objectives of the country are uniformity and equitably addressed within the larger goal of the meeting our people's aspiration and needs. Our latest union budget has reaffirmed our determination to go down with this path. The developed countries must respond on their part with due ambition. They must meet both their promises of reducing emissions drastically by a shift towards sustainable lifestyles and providing the developing countries with increased finance and technology support. India will do more than its fair share, but global climate action requires collective resolve to be successful. With these words, I wish this summit all success. Thank you very much. Jai.